Grande chosen ones. And yeah, this is coming off my thought patterns episode 120. And I got a lot of energy right now. Last night, I was dreaming a lot. Trust me. Sometimes it's like I'm not sleeping, you know? Because when you really awake in the astral realm, you have great insight. And this is why you bring it to this reality. And when you're channeling galactic frequencies from the angelic realms, your vibrational frequency becomes a ethereal symphony, that celestial hum that repels negativity. And you gain psychological immunity because you're bringing unity to your consciousness, realizing that you can stay in flow regardless of what comes around you. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of darkness out there. But when you become the light, you can shift through, you get me? And become so bright that it penetrates all the energy frequency sets around you. And guess what happens? The energy comes right back. You know what I mean? And you stay in touch with your higher self. And it's a privilege to have this awareness. But in order for you to manifest it, you have to be, really mindful of your actions, because it's always affecting your matter. And when you're dealing with the matter in hand, you've got no one to blame. You only got self to claim. You know what I mean? So you take full responsibility for your life. So you're no longer externalizing your power. You're internalizing it, taking your power back, And what else is coming off my thought patterns? Shouts to David Goggins out there. That master teacher had a big impact on me, teaching me about the darkness, realizing that you have to go through suffering and pain in order to get to this mental state. But using it in a way that's, triggering your immune system, your body strength to really increase, because that's what it's all about, testing your biochemistry, because we're in a world where a lot of us love comfort, but through uncomfort comes real growth. And, tap into his books out there, Can't Hurt Me, I Never Finished, great books out there. And his journey is like a movie. But it's a real life story, trust me. It's not no joke out here. That man really went through the dark night of the soul, and revealed the light within him, and helped millions of people realize that you have to deal with the dark in order to become the true light, because there's a lot of false light out there. And trust me, when you really work behind the scenes like me, there's so much going on that can disturb a lot of people's chemistry. Going back to what I said earlier, if you're not dealing with your biochemistry, triggering it, improving yourself, because at the end of the day, we're all getting tested on different levels. And what I've learned to do is not judge others, is to love, and realize that everyone's at a different level of consciousness and they're doing their best to their perception, in terms of what they're producing. Because what I've learned is that, a lot of us consume a lot, but don't produce a lot. And this is why a lot of us suffer. And going back to what I said earlier as well, is that, through suffering and pain, you can get to this mental state, but there's good suffering and bad suffering. Good suffering, something like fasting, Yeah, taking time out, but it increases your immune system. Bad suffering is like scrolling on TikTok, no full intended, for hours on end and not gaining nothing from it. But in your eyes, your perception is that you're gaining something from it because you're in a zone of comfort. But remember this, behind the scenes is where everything's getting manifested from. So what I learned is that, life is all about perception. So when you do things, that have positive after effects, like the cold showers, for example, for somebody that doesn't deal with the cold, that is suffering for them. But somebody that deals with the cold, it's great suffering. Because the after effects, So it all comes down to how your mindset is shaped up. Because what I've learned is that everyone has a different perception of reality. We've all got different rays of lights coming from different points and different angles. So you have to deal with yours and realize that this is key now, When you're speaking to others, there's many voices that's going on within them. So most people are presenting a mask that is not actually them. So when you're really tapping in and realizing who you truly are, you realize, wait a sec, you've got to break down yourself in order to build up yourself and others. Imagine that, because You know, a lot of us have gone through the programming, especially from 0 to 7 years old. And when you become super conscious of your every single second thought pattern, you realize, wait a sec, a lot of these voices aren't actually me. They're trying to disturb your chemistry. And when you elevate your energy, it's different. Because what I've learned is that the light and the dark here, energy runs through everybody. But due to your vibrational frequency, your signature is how you're going to respond through the energy running through you. And going back to what I said earlier, once again, the after effects. Because when I learn about the after effects of my actions properly, consciously, every single action, I realize, wait a sec, my action is how I really tap in, not how I express myself. Going back to David Goggins, once again, he expresses himself with the dark, a lot of the dark, but his action shows you who he truly is. You know, a lot of people are judging people off the 5% expression, not realizing that the 95% is the true governor. You know what I mean? And when you tap into this, you'll no longer be a sufferer. You'll be an internal warrior, realizing you've got the power. So remember, yeah, always tap into action to give you satisfaction for your own journey. Because what I've learned, this is King, I'm going to end it on this now, yeah? The greatest advice that you can ever get on this planet is the one from yourself. Your higher self has got the greatest advice because it's got your unique information. Think about that. Your unique information for you. You know what I mean? For your perception, for your reality, you know? So when you connect with SG spirit guides, angels, and ancestors out there, you'll be aware, you know what I mean? I'm realizing that you've got the power. So yeah, keep feeling so good, real good, because it's all about the feeling, baby. Oh yeah. So yeah, take care, peace, and blessings.